somehow or other, Prabhuji is little busy. He is engaged with other engagements. So, by Prabhuji's instruction, so we'll continue to discuss our regular Bhagavatam, what we are discussing in the previous weeks. So next month, sometimes in some other weeks, in the future weeks, Prabhuji will come and give us this association to us. So welcome to all for our weekly Tuesday satsang program. So in the last 2 weeks, we were discussing from chapter 9 of Canto 3, wherein Lord Brahma is offering his heartfelt prayers to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, whom he just saw after performing 100 celestial years of hard tapasya. And after witnessing the beautiful darshan of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he is offering so many prayers. In these prayers, he is actually establishing the glorious nature of bhakti. It is only by bhakti one can attain prema, one can go back home back to Godhead. But those people who take shelter of the materialism, hardcore atheism, or karma, or jnana, they have a lot of troubles in their endeavors to get happiness, in their endeavors to get perfection. But even by Namabhas chanting, even by performing bhakti in a abhas way, in an imitative way, one's heart gets purified by Lord's mercy and one becomes qualified to attain shelter at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if one performs karma or jnana or yoga, if that is connected with bhakti, they can attain the respective results. If these things, karma, jnana, yoga, if they are not connected with bhakti, they does not give any expected results. So this Lord Brahma establishes through his various prayers, and at the end now, starting from verse number 20 onwards, in 2 prayers he talks about his own situation in relation to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Then the next 4 verses from 22 to 25, he actually expresses his desire, is what exactly he is expecting from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, what kind of blessing is looking for Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to award upon him. So that is being mentioned in the next 4 verses. Then, being pleased with the wonderful prayers of Lord Brahma, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu replies to Brahma. That is the remaining chapter. So we'll try to see today whatever we could. So we stopped at verse number 20 last week. We discussed also verse number 20. Still we continue with the same. So starting with verse number 20. In this verse and the next verse, Lord Brahma talks about his current situation. Yo vidyánupátopi dasharda vritya nidra muvaha jatari kritaloka yatra antarjalehi kashipu sparshanukulam bhimormimalini janasya sukam vivrunvan. So herein Brahma says that, my dear Lord, your form is not like the form of a jiva in this material world. Your form is transcendental. It is beyond the influence of 3 modes of material nature. Every person, whoever takes birth in this material nature, they are actually supposed to be subjected to avidya, or the 5 functions of avidya. Dasharda vrutya. Dasha arda, half of 10, that is 5. 5 vrittis of avidya. The 5 vrittis of avidya are described later on in the Bhagavatam. We will be discussing them in the 12th chapter. They are called as the moha, tamishra, andatamishra, moha, mahamoha, tamas, moha, mahamohan, tamishra, andatamishra. Or they can also called as avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. So they are the 5 things, 5 features of illusion. They actually bind us in this material world. So then it says that, being bound by these 5 features of avidya, at the end of the day of Brahma, after the annihilation that took place by Lord Shiva, when Lord Shiva destroys all the 14 planetary systems, all the living entities will enter into your abdomen and they take rest for the entire night. Nidram uvaha jatari kruta loka yatra. They continue their journey while sleeping within your abdomen during the night of Brahma. But you yourself, antar jalehi kashipu sparshanu kulam. Antar jale ahi kashipu. Within the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, which is actually very turbulent, in that water, ahi kashipu. Ahi means the snake, the great snake known as Ananta. Kashipi means bed. The Shesha Panbu. You are actually lying very peacefully on the bed of Lord Ananta, who is known as a great snake. Sparshanukula, whose touch is very favorable, whose touch is very soothing, whose touch is very cooling for you. Bhimormi Malini, in spite of being situated within the waters of turbulence, the water is very turbulent from the time of annihilation. Since then, it is very turbulent. Still, you are very firmly situated. Sukham Vivrunam. And in that peaceful state, you are actually experiencing happiness. But people like us, Brahma is saying that we will be disturbed by looking at that fearful water, the turbulent water. But you being situated within that water, you could sleep very peacefully because you are not disturbed by the turbulence of this material world. So in that way, Lord Brahma is glorifying the transcendental nature of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Then, as Lord is there sleeping within the waters of Garbhodaka ocean, then at the end of the night, what happened? That is being described in the next verse. Yennabipadma bhavana dahama samidya lokatrayopakarano yadanugrahena tasmai namasta udarasta bhavaya yoga nidra vasana vikasan nalinekshanaya. So he says that Lord Rama is saying that Yennabi Padma Bhavanad, at the end of the night, at the very beginning of the morning, from your navel appeared a lotus stem manifested from your navel, and that grew very big, and top of that lotus stem there is a wonderful lotus flower, and from that lotus flower I have appeared. Aham Asam Idya, I have been born on top of that lotus flower. Having born, then have begun to worship you by performing yoga. By being situated in yogasana, have worshipped you. Since then, since the time I have appeared on top of the lotus flower, Idya means worshipping you. For what purpose? Lokatrayopakarano yadanugrahena. In order to receive your mercy, and from that mercy or by that mercy, I will be able to create 3 planetary systems or 14 planetary systems in this universe for the purpose of the living entities to perform their desired activities. Tasmai namasta udarasta bhavaya yoga. Udarasta bhavaya yoga. So let me offer my humble and respectable obeisance unto you, in whose belly you have given shelter to all the living entities during the night of Brahma. And now, through me, they are going to manifest. If only I will receive your anugraha. So in order to receive your anugraha, I am performing your worship. So my desire is that Nidravasana Vikasan Nalinekshanaya. O lotus-eyed Lord Nalinekshanaya, may you kindly open your eyes. It is enough. You have slept enough. Please open your eyes and empower me with that glance so that I can do the needful thing. And before that, before starting my service, if you open your eyes, I will perform Mangalarti. I will perform my early morning worship. And with that worship, may you be pleased. And with that pleasure, may I be blessed. May I be empowered to do my service of creating 14 planetary systems. My service of creating all the variety of living entities in this material world. so that all the living entities can start performing their activities. So Lord Brahma expressing his desire to do his service, and before that he want to worship the Lord early in the morning, for which he is requesting Lord to open his eyes. Nidravasana Vikasan, my dear Lord, enough is enough. बहुत सो गया अभी. Open your eyes and show your glance upon me. Show your glance of mercy upon me. So Lord might ask, what purpose you want me to show my glance upon you? Now he is expressing his desire that I want to do some service for you. So while doing my service unto you, let me not be bewildered. Let me not be misdirected. Let me not be deviated. Let me not be illusioned. Please protect me and my knowledge and my bhakti. So these are the requests by Lord Brahma in the next 4 verses. So verse number 22, wherein Brahma says that Soyam samasta jagatam suhrudeka atma satvena yan mrudayate bhagavan bhagena tenaiva me drushamanu prushatadhyataham srikshami purvavadidam pranata priyosau. Pranata priyosau, my dear Lord, who becomes pleased by your dear devotees, who is very dear to your dear devotees. My dear Lord, be pleased with me. For what purpose? So I am samasta jagatam suhrudeka atma. You are the only one person who is well-wisher of everyone in this world, including me. You are one only, you are one Atma, and you are that personality who is Suhrud to each and every living entity. You are our best ever well-wisher. Samasta Jagatam, for the entire universe and for all the living entities who are going to take birth in this material world. How you act as our well-wisher? Our well-wisher? Satvena yen mrudayate. For those living entities in the mode of goodness, by that mode of goodness you give them happiness. Because they are in the mode of goodness, they will actually become happy by performing various activities in the mode of goodness. Out of 3 modes, whatever activities you perform, if they are in the mode of ignorance or in the mode of passion, they ultimately lead to misery. But only the activities then when performed in the mode of goodness, they will lead to happiness. By empowering mode of goodness, you actually give happiness to those people who are in the mode of goodness, who perform activities in the mode of goodness. And then Bhagavan Bhagena, my dear Lord, you also please your wonderful devotees by sharing your opulences with them. Bhagavan Bhagena, Bhagavan means the Supreme Lords, Bhagena means the 6 opulences. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasasriya, Jnana Vairagyyoschaiva, Sannam Bhaga Idingana. The Supreme Lord will have 6 opulences: Aishwarya, wealth, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasasriya. Virya, power, Yasha, fame, Shriya, beauty, Jnana, knowledge, Vairagya, detachment. These are the different opulences. And Lord gives pleasure to his surrendered devotees by sharing his opulences with them. So just like you are well-wisher for each and every living entity in this material world, for the people in the mode of goodness, you give them happiness through mode of goodness. For your devotees, you give them happiness by sharing your vibhutis with them. I have my personal request also. Te naiva me, just like you are showing your mercy upon all of them, show mercy upon me also. Tena eva me drisham. Anusprushata dyataham. Just like you show mercy to all those people, you show mercy upon me also. How? Similarly. Sisrikshami purvad idam. So that I want to create this universe as it was created in the previous day. Whatever way I have created yesterday, similarly I want to create it today also. In this material world, I want to create all the living entities, some of them in the mode of ignorance, some of them in the mode of passion, some of them in the mode of goodness. and some of them in the mode of pure goodness, known as pure devotees. Pure devotees such as Narada Muni, Kumaras, etc. etc. And people in the mode of goodness, like all the sages like Daksha, Marichi, etc. And all other living entities in the mode of passion, and all the lower animals in the mode of ignorance. I want to create all these beings. So please show mercy upon me also, become my well-wisher also, become my Suhrud also, so that let me do this service. So this is the first desire of Lord Brahma. Let me do the service of creating your devotees and also various living entities in various modes. एष प्रपन्नवरदो रमयात्मशक्त्या यद्यत् करिष्यति गृहीत गुणावतारा तस्मै स्वविकारमिदं सृजतोऽपि चेतो युञ्जीत कर्मशमलं च यथा विजय्याम्. So he says that Esha Prapanna Varado. Varada, we have in Kanchipuram a deity known as Varadaraj, the king among the givers of benedictions. And Prapanna Varado means who is always eager to bestow benedictions upon those who are surrendered to your lotus feet. Ramayatma Shaktya, my dear Lord, who are always endowed with your spiritual potency. Rama Shakti. Rama Shakti is spiritual potency or Lord's internal potency. Yat yat karishyati grihita gunavatara tasmin svavikaram idam srujutopi cheto. He says that yat yat karishyati grihita gunavatara. So in order to create, maintain and annihilate these material universes, again and again whenever there is a need, you appear in various avatars. You appear as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parashurama, Rama, like that various avatars you appear again and again. Yadyat karishyati grihita gunavatara tasmin swavikarman idam srujutopi cheto. And whenever you appear, kindly include me also in your pastimes and kindly empower my consciousness to remember all your pastimes for the rest of eternity. Yunjita karma shamalam sha yata vijayam. Though I might be engaged in performing the creation of 14 planetary systems or the creation of all the variety of living entities, let me not forget your wonderful pastimes. Let me not forget your lotus feet. Let me not forget the desire to be in the association of you and your devotees. So please show me this one blessing. Please show this one favor upon me, that let my consciousness always be thought about your pastimes, in spite of me being engaged in Herculean task of creating 14 planetary systems and all the variety of living entities. Kindly protect my consciousness by giving it constant remembrance of your pastimes. So this is the second desire of Lord Brahma, which is expressing to Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Then Lord Brahma's third desire. नाभिहृदादिहसतोऽम्बसि यस्य पुंसो विज्ञानशक्तिरहमासमनन्तशक्ते रूपं विचित्रमिदमस्य विवृण्वतो मे मारीरिष्ट निगमस्य गिरां विसर्गा. So he says that Nabi Hrudad Ihasato Ambasi Yasya Pumsho. Herein, Lord Brahma is saying that having appeared from the Nabi Hrudad, that means having appeared from the lotus which appeared from your navel, Ihasato Ambasi Yasya Pumsho. So Brahma says that Ambasi Yasya Pumsho, that lotus which appeared from the lake which is there, which is situated within your navel. Within your navel portion there is a lake, From that lake appeared a lotus. On top of that lotus, I have appeared. Okay. Yasya pumsho vijnana shakti rahamasa mananta shakti. So, I, the deity of Vijnana Shakti, I, the in charge for Vijnana Shakti, Aham Asam Ananta Shakti, O Lord of unlimited energy, Rupam Vichitra Midamasya Vivrunvato me. He says that. So, Rupam Vichitra Midam Asya Vivrunvato me. May you manifest the wonderful form of this entire universe. There are the astonishing form, Rupam Vichitram, the astonishing form of this entire universe through my hands. Making me as an instrument, may you kindly manifest the entire material universe, which is very astonishing. Rupam Vichitram, it has very wonderful form. And then, Ma Ririshishta, Nigamasya Giram Visarga. While I am engaged as an instrument of your kind mercy, in the process of creating 14 planetary systems and in the process of creating all the variety of living entities, let me not forget the Vedic literature, Nigamasya Giram, the words of the Vedic literature, because only by the words of the Vedic literature I can understand who you are. I can continue to glorify your wonderful qualities. If I forget the Vedic knowledge, I will not be able to worship you. I will not be able to remember you. May you kindly use me as an instrument in your desire to manifest a wonderful form of the universe filled with lot of living entities. But during that time, may you protect my intelligence. Vijnana Shakti, though I am a deity of intelligence, may you kindly protect my intelligence, which is supposed to remember the words of the Vedic literature, by which I can remember you, by which I can glorify you. This is my desire. May you kindly be merciful upon me by bestowing this blessing of constant remembrance of Vedic literature. Nigamasya Giram. Nigamasya means the Vedas. So Giram means words. So then finally, this is the last prayer of Lord Brahma. Finally, Lord Brahma is again requesting Lord Vishnu to open his eyes and cast his wonderful glance upon himself. So Savadabra Karuno Bhagavan Vivruddha Prema Smitena Nayanam Buruham Vijrumban Uttaya Vishwavijayaya Cheno Vishadam Madhya Girapanayanat Purusha Purana. By the way, this is one of the verses that is recited early in the morning by the first pujari in order to wake up the Lord. Early in the morning, this prayer is recited at 4:30 a.m. in order to wake up the Lord. Even in the afternoon, after afternoon rest at 4 p.m., before offering Vaikalika Bhoga, the same verse is quoted once again by the pujari to wake up the Lord. So, in a way, this is wake up prayer for the Lord. Here, Lord Brahma is also praying to Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu to wake up. And all the pujaris also offer this prayer, this verse, in order to wake up the deities in all over ISKCON temples. So it says that So Savadabra Karuno Bhagavan Vivruddha Prema Snitena Nayanam Buruham Vijrumban. So Sav Adabra Karuna means O Lord of unlimited mercy, O Lord of abundant mercy. Adabra Karuna, there is no limit to your mercy. O Lord of unlimited mercy, Bhagavan, O personality of Godhead, Vivruddha Prema Smitena Nayanam Buruham Vijrumban. May you come kindly open your lotus-like eyes. Nayana Amburuham. Amburuham means lotus. Nayana Amburuham means lotus-like eyes. Vijruman open. How? Vivruddha Prema Smitena. Let the eyes be peaceful, be satisfied, and prema inducing, love inducing lands, and which is constantly increasing. Vivruddha is constantly increasing. Prema Smitena. That eyes imbued with affectionate glands. affectionate, loving glance. Uttaya, may you get up by opening your lotus-like eyes. For what purpose Brahma requesting Lord Vishnu to open his eyes and get up? Vishwa Vijayaya Shano Vishadam. So may you get up, glance upon me, so that let me become successful, let me become victorious in the service of creating the universe, in the service of creating the 14 planetary systems of the universe and all the variety of living entities in the universe. Vishwa Vijayaya Sha Na Vishadam, and without any Vishad, without any failure. Let me become victorious without any failure. In spite of going through all the impediments, may you be there with me to protect and during all the impediments. Madhva Girapanayanad Purusha Purana. His first desire is Lord Garbhodakasha Vishnu is to have a glance upon him by opening his lotus eyes. The second desire is, the final desire is Madhva Girapanayanad Purusha Purana. O Purana Purusha, may you bless me with your wonderful instructions. May you bless me with your sweet. Madhva means, Madhu is honey. Honey is sweet. Madhva Gira. Gira means words. Upanayanat. Upadesh de do. So may you instruct me with your sweet instructions. May you empower me with your sweet instructions. So in two ways, Lord Brahma is asking Garbhodakasha Vishnu to empower him. One is by your sweet, prema imbued smiling glance, and also by your nectarian sweet words of empowerment. With these two things, may you kindly empower me to become victorious in my service of creating 14 planetary systems and all the variety of living entities in this universe, to activate this universe, to start the activities of all the people of this universe. So this is the desire of Lord Brahma. So thus, he offered wonderful prayers for 25 verses, and at the end he submitted his request to Garbhodaka Chai Vishnu. And the rest of the chapter is all about Lord's reciprocation with Garbhodaka Chai Vishnu. Lord's empowerment upon Lord Brahma. Garbhodaka Chai Vishnu's empowerment upon Lord Brahmaji. So these are the 25 wonderful prayers which are offered by Lord Brahma here in the chapter. And similar set of prayers are also offered by Lord Brahma in the 10th canto 14th chapter. There the prayers are about 40 plus 40 and odd prayers. So they have much more philosophical insights. So whenever time permits, all of you can read those sections. So now Maitreya Muni tells what happened afterwards. Maitreya Uvacha Swasambhavam Nishamyaiva Tapo Vidya Samadhibi Yavan Mano Vachashrutva Virarama Sakinnavat. It says that having offered all these prayers, understanding that Lord is opening his eyes, Lord is going to bless him with his merciful glance, with his merciful words, Lord Rama stopped. Swasambhavam Nisamyaivam, having had the darshan of Garbhodakasha Vishnu, which was obtained by Garbhodakasha Vishnu's mercy, and then Tapo Vidya Samadhi. How could Brahma get the darshan of Garbhodakasha Vishnu? From Brahma's side, he performed tapasya, he performed worship. Worship is by chanting wonderful mantras unto Supreme Lord, and Samadhi, by meditating upon the form of the Supreme Lord. By these three things, Lord Brahma was blessed by the darshan of Garbhodakasha Vishnu. Yavan Mano Vachastutva. After having darshan, as much as his mind and words could permit, he offered prayers. Vachastutva. Tutva means he glorified the Lord as long as his mind and words could extend. Virarama Sa Kinnavat. As if he had exhausted, he stopped offering prayers. So, as Brahma stopped his offering of prayers, then what happened? Ata vipretam anviksha ब्रह्मणो मधुसूदन विषन्न चेत विषन्न चेतसं तेन कल्प व्यतिकराम्बसा लोक संस्थान विज्ञान आत्मना परिकिद्यता तम तम आहा तम आहागादाय वाचा कश्मलं समयं निवा अभिप्रेतम आन्वीक्ष ब्रह्मणो मधुसूदन विषन्न चेतसां तेन कल्प व्यतिकराम्ब आरंभसा. So basically, at the end of the night of Brahma, at the beginning of Brahma's day, in order to empower Brahma, so that Brahma could continue the further creation, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu on his own willing, on his own desire, showed himself to Brahma. Ata abhipretam anviksha Brahmano Madhusudana. So one sense on his own Lord showed it to Brahma, and also Lord was pleased with Brahma's seriousness in executing austerities, bhakti, tapo, vidya, samadhi, and contemplation upon his pastimes. So Lord was very much pleased. Lokas tamtana vijnana atmana pratikidyata. In order to give the empowerment for the purpose of creating all the planetary systems in the universe and all the living entities, tam agadaya vacha. Tam aha agadaya vacha. Agadaya vacha. Vacha means words. Agadaya means profound words. Agada bogam. Bhagavad Gita talks about Agada Bodham means the person of unlimited knowledge. A person endowed with secret, very secret knowledge. So, like that. So, Lord Vishnu spoke to Brahma with profound words. For what purpose? Kashmalam. In order to remove whatever ignorance that is there in the heart of Brahma. And Samayan Iva. Samayan Iva. In order to dispel the ignorance of Brahma and give him knowledge. Lord Vishnu spoke very profound words onto Brahma. So starting from verse number 29 till the end of the chapter, it is about 44 verses, this chapter called. Till 43rd verse, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu speaks to Brahma about so many things, giving him empowerment, giving him blessings, and also telling him what he's supposed to do, how he's supposed to do, etc. etc. So many things are described by Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ma Vedagarbha Gastandrim Sarga Udyamam Avaha Tanmaya Paditam Yagre Yanmam Partayate Bhavan. So Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu spoke. Ma Veda Garbha Gastandrim. He says that Sarga Udyamya Avaha. So, in order to start Udyamya, in order to execute the service of creating 14 planetary systems and all the living entities, may there not be any break, may there not be any impediment, my dear Veda Garbha. So, here Veda Garbha means Lord Brahma, who is born. So, actually, Lord Brahma is the womb of all the Vedas. He is called Veda Garbha. Is the womb of all the Vedas. The Vedas will manifest in this world through Brahma. Though Vedas directly come from Lord Vishnu to Brahma, then Brahma to all of us. So he is one of his names is Veda Garbha. Gas Tandrim. Let there be no impediments in your endeavor. Let there be no ignorance in your heart. Tam Maya apaditam hi agre. So he says that Yen mam prartayate bhavan. Whatever you have prayed for, let me accomplish everything for you. May you not worry about what to do and how to do. You start doing it by my empowerment, by my presence. Everything will be accomplished without any impediment, without any loss of knowledge. Since you are the source of all the Vedas, let there be no ignorance in you. So this is the first blessing offered by Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu unto you, unto Brahma. Ma Veda Garbing Gastandrim. Ma Gastandrim means let there not be ignorance in your heart, my dear Brahma, who is the source of all the Vedas. Who is Veda personified, Veda Garbha, who is the womb of the Vedas. So this is the first blessing Lord Vishnu gives unto Brahma. Bhuyastvam tapatishta भूयस्त्वं तपात्तिष्ठ विद्यां चैव मदाश्रयां ताभ्यम् अन्तर्हृदि ब्रह्मन् लोकान् द्रक्ष्यसि अपावृतान्. So herein he says that Bhuyastvam tapa astishta. When you are born on top of the lotus, you have taken shelter of tapasya. You have performed tapasya very seriously for 100 celestial years, 100 devata years, a long time. That is equal to 36,000 human years. According to our time scale, Lord Brahma performed tapasya for 36,000 years. And while performing tapasya, Vidyam Chaiva, you have also worshipped me by chanting various mantras or chanting mantras glorifying my wonderful name, form and qualities. Mad Ashrayam, having taken my complete shelter, having taken shelter of my lotus feet. Thabhyam Antarhudi Brahman Lokan Drakshasi Apavrutan, says that because I am very much pleased by your tapasya. So, because I was very much pleased by your tapasya, you had my wonderful darshan. Similarly, if you again perform the same tapasya for some more time, just like my form was revealed within your heart previously, then the form appeared outside in front of your eyes. Similarly, whatever you are supposed to create in this universe will be revealed to you within your heart. Antarhrudi and Tabhyam. After once it is manifested within your heart, you will get all the knowledge about what to do and how to do. Then, in due course of time, you will manifest entire universe and it will be visible to you outside. It will be visible to you in your eyes. You can see it with your eyes outside. First, if you perform the same tapasya, just like you performed previously, again, having taken shelter of my lotus feet completely, performing tapasya while chanting the mantra, you are chanting my holy names and the mantras glorifying my pastimes and qualities. You will be able to see the universe within your heart, and with that knowledge, you can create. Lokan drakshasi apavrutan. Without any covering, everything will be revealed to you within your heart. So here is telling that, my dear Brahma, take up once again, performance of austerity. With that, everything will be revealed to you. Performance of tapasya mixed with bhakti. That will be the source of revelation of the entire universe that you are supposed to manifest. Then Garbhodaksha Vishnu continues. Tata Atmani Lokecha Bhakti Yukta Samahita Drishtasi Mam Tatam Brahman Mayi Lokam Tamatmana. Then there was another request by Lord Brahma that while doing my service, let me not forget you. Let me not forget your pastimes. So in the previous verse, he blessed the means for creating the universe, creating 14 planet systems, creating all the living entities, that is tapasya and bhakti. And now, after creating the universe, tata, thereafter, atmani lokecha, if you are able to see me in the entire universe that you have created, bhakti yukta samahita, with the mind imbued with bhakti, with the mind imbued with bhakti, when you are able to see me in the entire universe, drishtasti mam tatam brahman mayi lokam tamatmana. When you are able to see me in all the living entities and also in the entire universe, and also when you are able to see all the living entities and the 14 planetary systems within me, just like Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe within the mouth of Lord Krishna, just like Markandeya Muni saw the entire universe within the abdomen of Vatapatra Shai. Similarly, if you are able to see me in everything and everything in me, Yomam Pashi Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati. For that person, then you will never lost me. You will never lost my remembrance. My dear Brahma, only when you will be able to see entire universe and all the living entities in me, and you will be able to see me in the entire universe and all the living entities, you will never lose me. You will never forget me. So this is the instruction not only for Lord Brahma, this instruction holds good for each one of us. When we are able to see the Supreme Lord's presence in everything that we see in front of our eyes, in the people, in the things, and when we are able to see everything in the Lord, that means everything manifested in the Lord, everything is belonging to the Lord, everything is Lord's property, then we always see the Lord. If we don't see these two things, we never see the Lord. It's like seeing the Lord in everything and seeing everything in Lord. So seeing the Lord in everything means everything is meant for Lord's service. And seeing Lord in everything means everything belongs to Lord. Everything is emanated from the Supreme Lord. Everything meant for His pleasure. Everything meant for His service. Then we don't have any competitive mentality. We don't have any envious mentality that this is mine, that is mine, this is for my pleasure, this is for my people's pleasure. This kind of competition, this kind of enviousness, this kind of differentiation, all these things will vanish. So this is one of the verses which talks about Uttamadhikari's vision. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hasini Suni Chaiva Supakecha Pandita Samadarshina. A person of knowledge will see Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane, a Brahmana, Gavi, a cow, Astina, a elephant, Suni Chaiva, dog and dog eaters with equal vision. That means this person who is imbued with knowledge and humility does not see the external covering. Instead, he will see the presence of Paramatma in every living entity. Instead, he sees the Vibhuti of Paramatma in the form of Atma in every living entity. So when one starts seeing Atma and Paramatma behind the outer covering of the material body, one will never forget the Supreme Lord. One will never bound in this material world. One will never succumb to the lower tendencies of the material world. So this is the only way we can always remember the Supreme Lord. This Lord himself is speaking. Only when you see me in this world and all the living entities, and when you see this world and all the living entities in me, you will never lose my remembrance. Then Lord Vishnu further continues, Yada tu sarva bhuteshu darushu agnimiva sthitam prati chakshita mam loko jaya tarihi eva kashmalam. How can I understand that Lord is present in everything and Lord is present in every living entity? So though we may not perceive Lord's presence in everything and every living entity, but here Lord himself gives an analogy. Just like fire is there in every wood item, Darushu Agnim Iva Sitam. Just like Agni is situated in every kind of wooden object, any item made up of wood will have fire within it. Yadatu, similarly, Sarva Bhuteshu, in all living entities, in everything that is there in this universe, Pratichakshita Mam Loko, when you are able to see me in every living entity. Just like we understand that there is fire in every wooden object, similarly, when you are able to see me, see my presence in every living entity. Jayat, you will become victorious. Tarhi eva kashmalam. If at all there is any ignorance in the heart, you can become victorious in wiping out that kashmalam, in removing that ignorance. So that can be possible only when you have complete understanding that just like fire is there in every wooden object, my presence is also there in every object and every personality. Just like Brahma Samhita says, Andanta Rasta Paramanu Chayanta Rastam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. The Supreme Lord situated within Anda refers to every universe as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Paramanu is also situated within every atom, Paramanu, as its Paramatma. Cha Antarastam, and also within the gap between two Paramanus. Lord is situated within the biggest thing that is known as the universe as its Paramatma. Lord is also situated as the Paramatma of a Paramanu and also at the Paramatma of the gap between two Paramanus. So Lord is there everywhere, but when we can perceive it, when we can appreciate it, when we accept it, then we will be able to overcome the contamination that is there within our heart. Then further continues Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Yada rahitam atmanam bhutendriya gunashayai swarupena mayopetam pashyan swarajyam archati. So here, this is one of the interesting verse, one of the important verse. Yada rahitam atmanam bhutendriya gunashayai swarupena mayopetam. So, when a living entity understands that one is rahitam atmanam, the atma is not made up of, or atma has nothing to do with what? Bhuta, pancha mahabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Indriya, the 5 jnanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas and 4 antakaranas. The indriyas are, the jnanendriyas are like ears, eyes, nostril, tongue and skin. The karmendriyas are mouth, hands, legs, genital and anus. And the 4 antakarana, the 4 internal senses are mind, intelligence, ego and chetana. The 14 senses and bhuta, the 5 gross elements along with their properties. Earth has fragrance, water has taste, and then fire has form, air has touch, ether has sound. When one understands that Atma has no connection with these 24 elements, 24 material elements, and also Gunashayai, it has no connection with 3 modes of material nature. When we understand that the Jiva is separate from 24 material elements and separate from 3 modes of material nature. And when one understands whatever is one's Swarupa, Swarupena Mayopetam, according to our original constitutional position, when we want to re-establish our relationship with Supreme Lord in a particular rasa, Shanta, Dasya, Vasalya or Madhurya, Pashyan Swarajyam Archati, then one will be able to see oneself being situated in my spiritual abode as my eternal associate. This is the clue for attaining liberation. This is the clue for going back home, back to Godhead. 2 things are required. One thing, we have to understand that Atma is separate from the 24 material elements and also 3 modes of material nature. So this is one thing. The second thing is Sarupena Mayopetam. One should develop a desire to serve the Supreme Lord in one of the 5 rasas. Shanta Dasya Sakya Vasalya Madhurya. So when these two things are very strong, that Atma is one understands that Atma is separate from the 24 mental elements, has nothing to do with 24 mental elements, and one has intense desire to serve the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world, in one of the five rasas. Pashan Swarajyam, one will be able to see Swarajya, my spiritual abode, my spiritual kingdom. How one can see the spiritual kingdom? Having gone there, having become an eternal associate of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is possible in that way. As Lord Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, this is one of the things we should cultivate always. Tesham sadha yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Dadami buddhiyogantam yenamam upayantate. Tesham, always, Amesha, satata yuktanam. When those devotees bhajatam priti purvakam, they execute bhakti with love and emotions, with all emotions, with all one's loving concern, loving feelings. For what purpose? Satata yuktanam. With a desire to become an eternal associate of the Supreme Lord and serve Him, one of the five rasas. Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. This is one of the important things. A devotee should always cultivate that one should go back, come back to Godhead and serve the Supreme Lord for the rest of eternity in one of the five rasas, especially when it comes to personal bhakti, in one of the four rasas, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. So that this theme is being repeated in Bhagavad Gita at many places. Satatam kirtayantu mam yatantasya drudavrata namasantasya mam bhaktya nityayukta upaste. Nityayukta, with a desire to become an eternal associate of mine in the spiritual world and to serve, upaste, to serve me in one of the five rasas. One should engage in devotional service here. By the mercy of that devotional service, one will go back to spiritual world and become an eternal associate of Supreme Lord and continue to render service to Supreme Lord in one of the five rasas or one of the four rasas. So this should be the primemost desire in the heart of all the devotees. Every devotee should cultivate this desire that let me go back, come back to God and serve the Supreme Lord in one of the four personal rasas. So many verses in chapter 9 and chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita and many places in Bhagavatam. So this theme is presented always. So same here, Pashan Swarajya Marchati. One will be able to see one's own spiritual abode. That means wherever one is going back, one will go back there and become a devotee of the Supreme Lord. So here Lord is opening the doors to Vaikuntha. He is giving the clue. He is giving the key. What is the key with which we can open the doors to Vaikuntha and become an eternal associate of the Supreme Lord and become an eternal devotee in the spiritual world? So in that way. And then, so one may think that let me do this, let me do that, let me do that. So by doing what? This key can be handed over to the hands of that devotee that is being mentioned here. Nana karma vidanena praja bahvishi srikshata na natmavasidati asminte varishyan mad anugraha nana karma vidanena. So herein Brahmaji, Lord Vishnu is continuing further in relation to Lord Brahma. Nana karma vidanena praja bhavi srikshata. So as you endeavor in various activities in order to manifest the 14 planetary systems and also all the variety of living entities, Natma avasidati asminte. Your mind, na atma, atma here, atma refers to your mind. Avasidati, it will never degrade. Asminte, it will never degrade from the remembrance of me. Instead, Madanugrahata, by my mercy, Varshyan, let my remembrance in your mind continue to increase. You don't have to worry that as you engage in the creation activities which are actually rajasic in nature, you might forget me, you might forget the Vedic knowledge. Don't worry about it. As you engage in various activities in order to manifest 14 planetary systems and all the variety of living entities, your mind will never deviate from my constant remembrance. Instead, it will increase my remembrance. Varshiyan, Varshiyan or Varishta, they're all like it will increase, it will increase, it will increase. So, in that way, as you engage in my service with bhakti, as it is mentioned in the previous verse, your remembrance of me will continue to increase. It will never decrease. Don't worry. ऋषिम् आद्यं न बध्नाति पापीयां स्वां रजोगुणा यन्मनोमय निर्बद्धं प्रजा संसृजतोऽपि ते. Same thing further continuing. So Rishi Adyam na badnanti papiyam stam rajoguna yen manomaya nirbaddam. As long as your mind is bound by me, en manomaya nirbaddam. When your mind is bound by contemplation, bound by my thoughts, praja samsrujatopite. In spite of being engaged yourself in creating all the variety of living entities, Rishim Adyam, O Adi Rishi, O firstborn sage, na badnanti papi yam stam rajoguna. You will not be bound by the papa of rajoguna, the sinful nature of mode of passion. When your mind is completely attached to me, and in that attachment, as you engage yourself in creating all the variety of living entities, you are not bound by the sinful tendency of rajoguna. So you are not bound by the activities that you perform in rajoguna. So Lord is actually giving the assurance. How this assurance becomes possible? Manomayi nirbaddam. When your mind is bound by my thoughts, when I am fully situated in your mind, when I am fully locked within your mind, then you are not bound. Of course, the same principle applies to anybody. When our mind is filled with Lord's thoughts, Lord's guna rupa leela, nama rupa guna leela. So in all our endeavors to come back to Godhead, we will never become defeated. In all our endeavors in this material world, we will never become defeated. That's why Lord Krishna tells to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. How to do the battle? Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Within the mind, you constantly remember me, and outwardly, you fight. Just like your Lord, for Lord Brahma, Lord says that, within the mind, you constantly remember me, and outwardly, create the universe, create, maintain, and take care of all the activities in the universe. So, the same principle which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also, here in Srimad Bhagavatam also. So then in the next verse, Lord says, Jnatoham bhavata tvadya durvigno yopi dehinam yanmam tvam mannise yuktam bhutendriya gunadbi. So here he said that Jnato aham bhavata tu adya. Here tu used something separate, something special. Lord is going to tell adya, today, bhavata, my dear Brahma, you, Jnato aham, you have understood my true transcendental nature. You understood about me. You understood about my personality. What is so special about it? Durvignoyopi dehinam. For the dehina, for the embodied living entities in this material world, it is very difficult to understand about my transcendental nature, because my form is not made up of material elements. It is not made up of 24 material elements. It is not a product of 3 modes of material nature. It is completely away from 3 modes of material nature. It is actually nirguna form. It is beyond the purview of 3 modes of material nature. So a person who is embodied in this material world, the body which is made up of the products of 3 modes of material nature, will not be able to understand something which is without three modes of material nature, something which is beyond the three modes of material elements or the beyond the 24 material elements. But still, today you understood about my transcendental form, because Lord Brahma glorified about Lord's form in the beginning verses, in the verse number 1, 2, 3, 4. The transcendent nature of Lord's form is being glorified very nicely. Lord's form as Brahman, Lord's form as Bhagavan, Lord Brahma glorifies. Yen mam tvam mannese yuktam, yen mam tvam, you have accepted that, you, tvam mannese, you have accepted that, mam ayuktam, I am not having any connection with what? Bhuta, the five Pancha Mahabhutas along with their five properties, earth, water, fire, air, ether, the taste, no, earth is the fragrance, the taste, the form, the touch, and the sound. And Indriya, the five Jnanendriyas, five Karmendriyas, four Antakaranas. So Bhutendriya, Gunambabi, Gunatmabi, the three modes of material nature, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, and Sattva-guna. That, my dear Brahma, you have accepted, Tvam Manyate, you have completely accepted that, Mam Ayuktam, I have no connection with the 24 elements and three modes of material nature. The Panchamahabhutas along with their five properties, and five Jnanendriyas, five Karmendriyas, four Antakaranas, and three modes. My form is transcendental and it has no connection with the 24 material elements and plus three modes. This you have accepted with complete faith. And thus, you had the real understanding of my transcendental form. And it is Durvignayopi Dehinam. It is very difficult for the people of embodied. For those people who identify with their body, it is very difficult to get the understanding of Lord's transcendental form. That's why it is mentioned in the previous verse. When we understand that we are nothing to do with this body, we are separate from this body. Yada rahitam atmanam bhutendriya gunashayai. When we understand that Atma is separate from Atma, is without the constitution of the five Panchamahabhutas along with their five properties and 14 senses. Then, and with the desire to serve the Lord eternally in the spiritual world, then we will be able to go back to Godhead. Same way here, my dear Brahma, you have understood about my nature of the same way. It is transcendental, has no connection with 24 material elements. Tubhyam madvichiksha, tudyam madvichikistayam, atma me darshito bahi, nale nashalale moolam, pushkarasya vichinvata. So he said that Pushkarasya Vichinvata. After your birth, as soon as you are born, you saw the lotus and you are trying to understand where is the source of this lotus. And with a desire to understand the source of that lotus, Nalina Chelile Moolam, you have entered into the Nala of the lotus tubes, the lotus stem, and you have come all the way up to the water, the lake in my navel, in order to understand the source of this lotus flower, in order to understand about me. Atma me darshito bahi. But eventually, mad vichikistayam, in order to accomplish my task, with an intention to understand me, you are searching all these things. But in order to accomplish my task of creating the universe, I have shown my form to you. Atma me darshito bahi. Externally to your eyes, I have displayed my wonderful darshan. For what purpose? In order to accomplish my task of furthering the creation of the universe through you. So by my own mercy, I have shown myself to you, looking at your eagerness to serve me. How did I understood that you are eager? Because you wanted to know me. You wanted to know the source of this lotus flower. You are trying very hard, searching all over the lotus stem, searching all over the nala of the lotus, Pushkarasya. Pushkarasya is lotus. So I am very much satisfied with you. That's why I have shown myself to you. And now I am giving you all the empowerment and do the needful. H यच्चकर्ताङ्गमश्रोत्रं मत्कथाभ्युद मत्कथाभ्युदयान्तिकितं यद्वा तपसि ते निष्ठा स एषा मद् अनुग्रहा. Herein, so here Lord Brahma is giving a Falashruti kind of thing. Yet Chakarta Anga, Yet Chakartanga Mat Srotram Mat Katabhyuda Katabhyudaya Ankitam Yadva Tapasi Te Nishta Sa Esha Mad Anugraha. So herein Lord says that Yet Chakarta Anga, my dear Anga, my dear son, my dear Brahma, much sotram, whatever glorification that you are rendered till now, glorifying my one transcendental attributes, form, name, qualities, activities, etc. etc. Mat kata abhyudaya ankitam. Mat kata abhyudaya and ankitam. You have glorified my pastimes, you have glorified my wonderful transcendental nature, you have glorified my transcendental activities, etc. etc. All those things. Yadva tapasite nishta sa esha mad anugraha. He says that by my mercy, mad anugraha. Yadva tapasite nishta, with whatever desire you have performed, your great tapasya, you have performed all this wonderful bhakti, everything unto me, whatever prayers you offered to me. By my mercy, you will accomplish everything that you desired. Sa esha manugrata. Whatever you desired, whatever purpose you want to accomplish by performing the austerities, by having my darshan, by offering all the prayers, you will accomplish everything by my mercy. Do not worry. Please go ahead, starting your activities. Pritohamastu badram te lokanam vijayechaya yad astaushir gunamayam nirgunam manuvarnayan Preeto aham astu badram te. My dear Brahma, I am very much pleased with you. My dear Brahma, I am very much pleased with you. And then badram te, let there be all auspiciousness unto you. Badram astu or swasti astu. These words are generally used. So then, lokanam vijayechaya. May you become victorious in your endeavor to create 14 planetary systems, in your endeavor to create all the variety of living entities. Yad astu shir gunamayam nirgunam manu varnayan. So here it said that nirgunam ma anuvarnayan. Let there be auspiciousness to you, let there be victory for your endeavors, because you actually understood that this universe, yet astaushir gunamayam, this universe is a component, is a product manifested from three modes of material nature, and myself is nirgunam, and you have glorified that. Ma anuvarnayan nirgunam, you are glorified my spiritual qualities, and you understood that I am separate from the gunas. Astaushir gunamayam. I am not made up of three modes of material nature. Instead, I am nirguna, and that qualities of my nirguna form is being glorified by you in your prayers. So, of course, Lord Krishna is again, Lord Vishnu is again telling same thing, so that we understand that Lord's form is not made up of three modes of material nature. It is not gunamayam. Instead, it is nirgunam. It is completely Sachidananda. That is being glorified by Lord Brahma also. So Lord Vishnu again repeating the same thing in order to make the impression that he is transcendental. या एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा श्रोत्रेण मां भजे तस्यासु ततस्त्रास्तु संप्रसीदेयं सर्वकामा वरेश्वरा. Sarvakama Vara Ishvara. O Lord, who is the fulfiller of all the desires. So he said that I am the Lord who can fulfill all the desires of all the living entities. Those Ya Etena Puman Nityam, those living entities whoever every day Stutva glorifies Mam Bhajeta and worships me. How? Shrotrena Tasyasyu, by chanting the prayers offered by you. Those people in this world, whoever worships me by chanting the prayers offered by you, tasyasyu samprasideyam, I will be pleased by them, because Sarvakama Vareshwara, I am the Lord of all the benedictions, and being pleased with their worship, I can fulfill all their desires. Sarvakama Vara Ishvara, I will be able to give benedictions in relation to all their desires. Only when they worship me by chanting the prayers offered by you. Stutva Shrotrena Mam Bhajeta Tasyasu, by chanting the prayers offered by you, I will be able to show, display all the blessings upon them. I will fulfill all their desires. So then, last 4 verses, which Lord Vishnu is speaking now. Purtena tapasa yajnair danaryoga samadhina raddam nishreyasam pumsham matprisi tattvavin matam. Tattvavin matam. The opinion of the highly knowledgeable people is, the opinion of the greatly learned scholars is mat pritis. My pleasure, my satisfaction is the ultimate goal, that should be the ultimate purpose of performing various religious activities. Tapasa, performance of various austerities. Yajnair, performance of various yajnas. Danair, giving various charities. Yoga Samadhina, performing Ashtanga yogas. Raddam Nishreyasam Pumsham. Here it says that Nishreyasam means the ultimate benefit. In order to get the real benefit of performing of various religious rituals, tapasya, yajna, dana, yoga, etc., is only possible by my pleasure. When all these activities are performed for my pleasure, they will actually get their real benefit. Otherwise, if the activities are performed and those activities are not given pleasure to Supreme Lord, all those activities does not give any tangible benefit. In order to get any tangible benefit, any real benefit, one should perform all one's activities for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. As Lord Krishna indicates in Bhagavad Gita, et karoshi yadashnashi yajyoshi dadashiyat et tapashasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever thing we do, we should do it as an offering to Supreme Lord. So when Lord is pleased with our activities, Lord will bless us with the highest beneficial results. So that is being indicated here. Raddam Nishreyasam Pumsham, the living entities will get the real benefit of performing any activity when those activities are performed for my pleasure. When they please me, they will get all the fulfillment. By my pleasure, they will actually come to my spiritual abode. As Sukadeva Goswami, when he was offering prayers in the second canto 4th chapter, he mentioned that Tapasvino Dana Para Ishasvino Manasvino Mantra Vida Sumangala Kshemam na Vinnanti Vinaya Darpanam Tasmai Subhadra Shravate Navanama. Kshemam na Vinnanti Vinaya Darpanam. Unless until we offer all our activities as a service to Supreme Lord for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kshemam na Vinnanti. Kshemam means the auspicious results will not come for our activities, such as tapasvina, tapasya, dana, para, yashasvino, the performance of yajnas and all the other activities to become famous in this world. So all those activities does not yield real benefit if they are not offered to Supreme Lord for Lord's pleasure. So Lord's pleasure is the key point in order to get the results or the real benefit of our endeavors. Aham atmatmanam, aham atmatmanam data preshta sanpreyasamapi ato mayi ratim kuryat dehadir et krite priya. So this is one of the interesting thing from the previous verse. So somebody might ask questions. Okay, I mean, let me perform all these activities. Why you people are bothering me from the very beginning that one should perform for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu? So why so? Let me peacefully perform the activity. Then let me offer the result to Supreme Lord. What is wrong in it? So here in this verse, it is one of the interesting verse. So he says that Aham Atma Atmanam. I am the soul of all the living beings. I am the soul of all the living entities. Aham Atma Atmanam. I am Paramatma in every living entities. Data, my dear Brahma. Preshta San Preyasam Api. Among all the things that are very dear to a person, I am the dearmost thing. Preshta San Preyasam Api. Among all the dearmost objects, among all the dear objects, I am the dearmost. Ato Mai Ratim Kuryad. So because of this reason, Ato Mai Ratim Kuryad Dehadir Yat Krite Priya. Because of this reason, everything in this world becomes dear to Jiva. Because I am Paramatma in every living entity, I am Paramatma in every object in this world. That is one condition, one thing. Second thing is that Preshta San Preyasam Api. Among all the dear things, I am the dearest thing. I, at the Paramatma, of everything that is there in this world, is very dearest thing, whether we accept it or not. Because of my presence as Paramatma in every object in this world, in every person in this world, Ato Mai, therefore, Ratim Kuryad, Dehadir, Yat Krite Priya. People like different things and different objects and different personalities in this world. We as people, different individuals, we like our body, we like our family members, we like the way they dress, we like the way they behave, we like the way they are situated, we like our gadgets, we like our home, we like our vehicles, we like our office, we like our home, we our resort home, and different things. We like the places we generally visit. All these things we like. We have so many things that we say that I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. He is my friend, he is my close friend, he is my father, mother, and this is so many things we say in this world. All those things become dear to us because Paramatma is situated in everything. And Lord says that among all the things that are dear to us, the dearest thing is me, the Paramatma. Because of my presence, out of many things, few things or few people may be very dear to you. The dearness is not coming from them. The dearness is actually because of my presence in them or in those objects. So this is one of the important verse which Lord Vishnu speaks here. And there is a question asked by our Parikshit Maharaj after Brahma Vimohan Lila. He asked the question that generally for every parent, their own children are very much lovable. They actually show affection to their own children more than anyone else in this world. But during that 1 year of Brahma Vimohan Lila, every parent and every cow, they showed more love to their son, because during that 1 year, Krishna became their son. Otherwise, in normal course, generally every mother has more love for their own son and less love for other son, other children. But during this 1 year, why the Vrajavasis showed more love to their sons? Because there, Sukadeva Goswami to the same reason. Because all of us by our nature have natural affection, natural love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is also Paramatma within our heart. But we have forgotten that. So instead, we show our affection to various things in this world. But for Vrajavasi, they don't have material affection because their love for Lord Krishna is very natural. And during this 1 year, Lord Krishna himself became their son. And more than that, before that pastime, every day when they were churning the butter, when they were churning the yogurt in order to extract the butter, they would always think that may Krishna come my home and steal this butter. They would never think that their own son come and steal the butter. They would always think about Krishna to come and steal the butter. In the normal time, the Vrajavasis loved Krishna more. And during this 1 year, they loved their son more than Krishna. Krishna means the Yashoda's son, Krishna. The reason Sukadeva Goswami says that, because the love of Jiva toward the Supreme Lord is very natural. So this we can see 100% in Vrajavasis. In normal time, they had more love for Krishna, and during this 1 year, they had more love for their own son. That is because Krishna became their own son. But for us, for the people of this world, in this material world, our love is seen in people, in different objects. And Lord says that here, that love towards the different things and different objects and different people is because of my presence only. Because I am present in them. Because of that, they are being attracted to that person. So this is one of the interesting philosophical point. So Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu reveals to Brahma. And this is the last verse which Garbhodaksha Vishnu speaks to Brahma. Sarva Veda Mayenedam Atma Atmanatmatma Yonina Praja Srujayata Purvam Yascha Mai Anuserate. Here it says that Sarva Veda Mayenedam Atma Atmanatmatma Yonina Praja Srujayata Purvam Yascha Mai Anuserate. My dear Brahma, Atma Yonina. My dear Brahma, who you have been born from Paramatma. Atmatma is Paramatma. Yoni means the source. My dear Brahma, who you have been born from Paramatma, the Atma of every living entity. Sarva Meda Maye Nedam. So being empowered by the knowledge of all the Vedas, Praja Sruja Yata Purvam. May you please create all the living entities that you have created in the previous day. As you created previously, may you kindly create now also. For what purpose? Yes, Yascha Mai Anuserate. May you specifically create all those living entities who are my obedient followers. Anuserate or Anusevate, who will continue to serve me by their activities. Create such kind of living entities. So why Lord is telling this one? Because Lord with one purpose created this material world. When Jiva had a desire to have some separate enjoyment from Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord created this universe so that we can come here and enjoy in a dharmic way and then go back to Godhead as early as possible. So for that, Lord Vishnu giving order to Brahma that create those living entities who are obedient to me so that they can fulfill their desires, perform bhakti, and can come back to Godhead. They can come back to spiritual world. So though Brahma created all of us at the very beginning to be obedient, but because of our adamant, we, the living entities, became indifferent to Lord's service in due course of time. Now this is the final verse of the chapter. Maitreya Uvacha Tasma Evam Jagasrishtre Pradana Purusheshvara Vyajyedam Svena Rupena Kanjanabha Tirodade. It says that the Supreme Lord Tasmad Enam Jagasrishte Pradana Purusheshvara, the Lord of 3 Purushavasaras and also Pradhana the Maya Devi. Vyajyedam Svena Rupena. After displaying his form, wonderful, beautiful form to Brahma, Kanjanabis Tirodade, who appeared from the lotus manifested from his own navel, he disappeared. So having empowered Lord Brahma about the means of creating this entire universe and the means of attaining perfection, Lord Vishnu, who is the source of Brahma, who is the source of this universe, disappeared. Tirodade, he returned back to his transcendental state. He disappeared from the vision of Lord Brahma. So, thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the third canto, 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Brahma's prayers for the creative energy. So, Lord Brahma prayed for empowerment, Lord Vishnu empowered and disappeared. So, it's 9 o'clock. We will stop here. So, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. If devotees want to say something, or if Prabhuji want to make some announcement, so we'll take a couple of minutes and we'll discuss.
There are no announcements, Prabhuji, but if anybody is having any questions, you can go ahead.
Yeah. If
Hare
any,
Krishna.
yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, I want to ask regarding text number 35, in which you have said that as long as your mind is bound by me, you will be not bound by the sinful tendency of Rajoguna. Actually, when we talk about Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, we always say Brahma is the representative of Rajoguna, Vishnu is Sattva-guna, and Shiva is for Tamoguna for destruction, and Brahma for creation, because Rajoguna is needed for creation.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And Brahma means Brahma, we say Rajoguna. Brahma is equal to Rajoguna. Means always we, our mind, and then at the same time, Krishna is telling him that you will not be bound by Rajoguna. So how it is?
See, Brahma is not Rajoguni person. The creative action, the action of creating something, like for example, the action of erecting a building, the action of constructing a temple, it is completely in the nature of mode of passion or Rajoguna. So when one is completely immersed in that activity, one might be carried away. So Lord Brahma is responsible for creating the universe at the very beginning of the day, creating 14 planetary systems and creating all the variety of living energy. That we will discuss in the 10th chapter, what Brahma did. So this activity has the tendency to take us away. So Lord Brahma praying for that. So you are, my dear Lord, you are giving me service which is in the mode of passion. Please protect me. I will not, let me not be bewildered. Let me not be carried away by this activity. So etc. Lord Brahma is not Rajoguni person, but his activity is Rajoguni activity. And Lord Shiva is not a Tamoguni person. Instead, his activity of destroying everything that Lord Brahma had created painstakingly, that activity of destruction is of Tamoguni activity. So he is just in charge for that activity. He is not Tamoguni person. Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are situated in pure goodness. They are pure devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Instead, they are non-different from the Supreme Lord. They are, both of them are Gunavataras. So they cannot be passionate or ignorant.
Yes, that's what I was telling. They are Gunavataras. So we always say 3 modes is Guna, 3 good, and therefore I was bewildered little bit about this. That's why. Thank you for the clarification.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Can I have a question?
Please.
Prabhuji, in verse number 42, you said we get attracted to others or things in this material world because of Lord's presence in them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what aspect of the Lord's presence in them that we are attracted? That is my question. Is it that 6 opulence of the Lord existing in minute level that we are attracted?
Any opulence, yadyad vibhuti mastatvam srimat urjitameva tattateva gachatvam mamatejam sambhava. When you go to a shopping mall, in that shopping mall, you happen to see a wonderful, beautiful watch, wristwatch. So by looking at it, you become attracted to it. You wanted to have it. What makes you to have it?
Maybe the beauty or
Yeah,
the
maybe the
creation
beauty, maybe the way it is designed,
created.
the
Yeah.
way it appears. That is the vibhuti of the Supreme Lord. That glitter, that attractive potency in that watch is Lord's vibhuti.
Okay. So this all comes under the 6 opulence only, na Prabhuji? The
Yeah,
6 opulence.
they are all extensions of 6 opulences. Yes.
Okay,
Definitely.
6 opulences also. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna. Hope all the devotees are tired of hearing through 1.5 hour hardcore technical discussion.
No, Prabhuji, it was a excellent class. Very, so many, details to carry. Fully insightful and full of wisdom. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
Hare Krishna. If anyone has any other query to make, we'll take up. Otherwise, we will stop for the day. And devotees are getting late for your dinner, prasadam, etc., other things.
Prabhuji, thank you very much for a wonderful class, Prabhuji. In fact, you never realize when this 2 hours, 1.5 hour, literally flies. Wonderful nectar. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Thank you
I
for
think
your
we will end here. Sorry.
Thank you for your appreciating words. That's what
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
I think we'll end the class.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Sorry, today Prabhuji is supposed to come. Somehow Prabhuji is busy.